Hello tarot friends, this is Balsamic Moon Tarot and I am here with a collective reading. I will also do a pick a card reading in this video for the second half. Feel free to skip ahead to the card selection, the pile selection if you want to do that, but I really recommend starting from the beginning with the collective reading as a general energy check-in, and perhaps there are messages in that collective reading that are really meant for you. So I am getting back into reading for you now. I took a couple weeks to just do some life stuff. I don't know about you, but this video is being filmed right after the full moon in Capricorn, and the past couple weeks have been quite a doozy, so perhaps you're feeling the same. Something that I hear a lot, but I'm really agreeing with it right now, is this idea of changing timelines. You might be someone who is experiencing a drastic change in the timeline of your life, in the story of your life, writing a new story being written for you, a new story being offered to you. If that sounds like you, then welcome to this collective. Stick around. Many messages and insights to come. So I'm starting with the Iris Oracle deck. Let's see what cards we have. Wow, Alchemy, powerful, beautiful. Number 66, in case that's meaningful to you. We have, wow, be free, do what you love. Oracle card number 42. I mean, already so much. And you see the similarity in the cards already. We see that the hands here could very well be the hands here, right? It's the flowing energy, the flow of the universe, the creative flow of the universe, the creative flow of spirit, of source, however you want to phrase it. It's coming through you. It's coming through us. It's coming through us when we shine our light, when we feel free, when we are free to be who we are. It's not about how we identify, it's about feeling uninhibited. It's about feeling like ourselves, feeling the joy and the passion and the love of living, of life. When we respond from the heart, when we respond from joy, we don't get lost in the ego. We don't get lost in the egocentric struggles, because there's always enough love to go around. There's no shortage of love. There's no shortage of warmth, of joy, of abundance, of passion when you live from the heart center. So that's the first message I'm getting. Wow. So this one, the one who needs to control, yes. If you're drawn to this message, I think you've been well aware of bad actors, the people who argue in bad faith, people who just want to focus on the worst possible reality, the worst possible outcomes, the cynicism, the unchecked greed, selfishness, anger, rage. All of that stems from the fear of not being in control. When you feel the need to control, you are living in a place of fear. So the real question is, what are you afraid of? What is it that you fear? This is incredible. Rainbow transference. Look, 3 cards from this deck that all have the rainbow in it. I'll read out the numbers in case you are a numerologist. We've got 66, 42, 20, and 21. I'm going to read the description for this rainbow transference card. They all have the rainbows, they all have the hands, they all talk about flow and sharing, right? The shared participation in creating this universe. We are all here co-creating it. We're all together, we're all one, whether we know it or not, whether we like that or not. We are all here at the same time, in the same, dimension. Wow, this is wonderful. So rainbow transference. You have found the magic connection. You have found the reason that you are not a solitary being on this earth, and that is to share your magic with others. You have found your inner power to make beauty in all forms on this plane of existence. You have the gift of being able to share it with others, and also to receive this from others as well. Since the time we incarnate, it is within us, our magic, our knowledge, our rainbows, being able to communicate or show this otherworldly treasure is not as easy as just feeling it or knowing that it is there. You have the power to fully bless others by showering your rainbow light on them, letting them feel the balance of the full spectrum of this lifetime. Each and every color has a purpose, place, and time, and each color is being connected. So, full spectrum, right? I love that phrasing because full spectrum is referring to the fullness of life on earth, the fullness of this life experience. We're not here to just control every day, like to control and compartmentalize our daily experience. We're not here to only have this narrow experience of life where we are comfortable and only experiencing pleasure and only receiving love, not giving love, only receiving adoration or only receiving attention or only receiving money or you know what I mean? It's so this is a very, very clear message here for the collective, which is that we are a collective, first of all. It's the fact that we are in this together, but we each have a unique purpose. We each have a unique reason that we are here. And no one can tell you what that is. No one can define that for you. And your reason for being here could be something as colorful and as vibrant as the rainbow. You may be here for the reason of experiencing 10 different lifetimes in one. You may be here to do something that changes every few years. Like, I'm not saying that our reason for being here is that we're supposed to be these stable creatures who are like productive, like tools in a toolbox, right? We're not here to just be a screwdriver or something like that. We're not here to just fill this role, fulfill a purpose that is clear-cut, clearly defined. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say you're just another actor on the stage playing a role. I'm trying to say that the search for our purpose, the search for what it is that brings us joy, what it is that makes us feel meaningful, what gives us meaning, that search, that process, that is what it's like to live the full spectrum, right? That's the full spectrum of the rainbow. The full experience of life is trying, is learning, is reaching beyond what you know. It's getting outside the comfort zone. Not because you only want to be uncomfortable and you only want to experience pain or uncertainty. It's not because of that. It's not about, you know, trying to punish yourself or trying to be virtuous necessarily. It's the fact that we can, you know, it's about freedom. It's about that liberation, right? We are here, like we have bodies, we have autonomous bodies. Like, why aren't we using our own our autonomy to do wonderful things? What is stopping us, right? And here's the thing, we can very well be living under an oppressive experience where we can't do whatever we want. We can't even, you know, get our needs fulfilled. That we may very well be living in conditions that are incredibly stressful or exploitive, or you know, we may be in duress, like we may be in crisis, but the experience of being alive still affords us a certain freedom, a certain autonomy, because every day the sun comes up and every single day we can decide, what are we going to do different today? Like, we may just, you know, if you're experiencing depression, the awful thing about depression is that it convinces you that nothing will change. So the real battle in depression is to realize that every single day you wake up, it doesn't have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be the script that you follow or the prison that you're in. You can do something different. You can respond differently. And it may be the tiniest thing. It may be like, today I'm waking up and instead of having coffee, I'm having tea. You know, like it's that, it could be that trivial, right? It could seem trivial like that, but it's not trivial, because that's how you assert your freedom here. You know, we have these limitations that we have to live under, but we are still here for a reason. Like, we're still weirdly in this weird planet, in this weird universe. Why are we here, right? Like, we're still here. It's I don't know, maybe I'm going into the weeds, or maybe I'm getting lost here, but you know, look at these cards. Like, this deck has so many cards in it, and we've pulled out 3 cards with the rainbow and the hands, right? And the hands of a connection, you know. So it's a very loud and clear message here for the collective, which is that we cannot forget that we are here for a reason, that we have a purpose, and to experience joy, to seek meaning, to seek love. That is all part of that journey. So don't give up. Don't shy away from it either, right? Don't shy away from that adventure, that challenge of finding, what is it that you love? Who is it that you love? Who is it that lights up your eyes, lights up your life? Okay? And, you know, obviously easier said than done. Loneliness is an incredibly difficult thing to struggle with, and for many of us, especially if you live in a Western or you know, Western country, right, there is a loneliness epidemic. Finding connection, feeling connected is it's difficult. It's like the cards are stacked against us. But here's the thing. When we accept that we're not in control, and we don't have to be in control of everything in our life, when we can accept that that's when the flow of life comes in, and that's when the flow of the divine comes in. So if you've been really struggling to feel like your actions mean something, or that you're, you know, that you're getting somewhere, that you're having some kind of progress in your life, if you're really struggling with that, try to do something that is an act of surrender. Try to surrender something. Embrace the experience of surrender in some way. You know, you may not be ready to surrender a job, right? You may not be ready to just quit a job and be like, I surrendered to life and not knowing how to pay my bills. Like, maybe that's too much, right? But is there another form of surrender that you can do now, that you're ready to do now? Is it something like, you know, I surrender control of this friendship? You know, maybe there's a friendship where you've been the one who has really made all the effort to keep it going. You've make sure to check on the person. You make sure to schedule time, and you know, you put aside time for, you've cooked dinner for them, or you put aside time to be with them, and it has not been an experience that has actually brought joy into your life. It's been the opposite. Let's just say, would you be willing to surrender responsibility for the friendship, right? So it's an act of surrender. We can do this in so many ways, but the whole point of it is to remind ourselves and to teach ourselves and to really internalize that there's so much we actually do not control, and we should not control, and it's amazing, and it's wonderful that we do not control it. See, surrender can be joyful. Surrender can be a relief, right? Yeah, wow. So very strong message already coming through. I honestly don't even know if I need to pull many cards, so I'm just gonna try to keep this more streamlined. Let's just pull cards from this deck first. Wow. Can we get additional messages for the collective, clarification, or additional advice, guidance at this time? What does the collective need to know at this time? You have the Nine of Cups, the rainbow, right? Not quite a rainbow, but you know, clearly not all the colors of the rainbow, but clearly, you know, looking like a rainbow there. Wow, we have the Justice card right there on top of the control, one who needs to control. We have the Justice card, okay? It's talking about balance. And we have the Two of Wands, which is really wonderful to see that. Let me make sure. Yeah, you can see, you know, you see the connection here, right? Rainbow transference, and then the Two of Wands, which shows two hands, and each one is reaching for the other person's light, the other person's candle, right? So this is about reaching across that divide, reaching across the gulf, right? The gulf of, I mean, existence. This is really what I'm getting here. It's very existential. It's about, you know, the powerful recognition that occurs when we realize that not everyone thinks like us, not everyone experiences life as us. Our perception is subjective, okay? Our perception of the world is subjective. It is not a universal truth, and it is not absolute. We're seeing this Justice card, I think, because this is a very much a moment, you know, this is a moment of, wow, the word reckoning came to mind. You know, that's the Judgment card, right? But the Justice card can very much be about reckoning, because it is about karma, and it's about, it can represent the law. okay? The black and white truth. Justice is about definition, okay? Definition of terms, the legal structures, the laws. So when we think of justice, there's a real severe punishment for those that have twisted the truth. Okay, I'm just channeling here. You may not agree with me that that's what the Justice card means, but that's what I'm getting in this case. The Justice card here is showing a correction, okay? A correction of falsehoods, a correction of lies. The Nine of Cups in this card shows a fairy godmother, which is really lovely. It's about wish fulfillment. So I'm also seeing, you know, imagine if you could wave a magic wand. This fairy godmother, she's waving the magic wand and everything is just turning to what it should be, right? Remember with Cinderella, the fairy godmother waved that magic wand and everything magically came together for Cinderella to go to the ball. All of a sudden she had a carriage, right? The pumpkin became a carriage. And then of course the clock struck midnight and the carriage turned back into a pumpkin. See, so it's like there is no wavering there. The clock will strike midnight and everything will change back to reality. This is about the reality check. It's about snapping back to reality. That Nine of Cups may not look very positive in this light, because this is saying, you know, getting your wish fulfilled and then what? And then it all goes away, poof. No, that's not what I'm trying to say here. I think what the cards are saying is that if you have used your good grace, if you've used grace, let me put it this way, if you've received grace, if you've received blessings, and if you receive them in a way that was, I want to say correct, I don't know, that's the word that's coming through. If you receive these blessings correctly, you know, you didn't take advantage of others, you didn't exploit others, you didn't use deception and manipulation and greed. If you received these blessings in the correct way, in the rightful way, that's the word, in the rightful way, in the righteous way, if you used your blessings in life in the righteous way, you have nothing to worry about, because you've lived in the truth, right? But I think if you have received blessings and you did not act in a righteous way with what you're blessed with, this is the Justice card. This is the law, you know. And when I say law, I mean it can be courts, sure. Sorry, there's little flies buzzing around, annoying me. It can be the court system, sure, but I really think in this message, this is about universal law. This is really about the universe just course correcting. You know, there's no emotion here, there's no moral here. It's just how it is. It's the law that governs our universe, and we are these we cannot presume to know everything about it, right? We're too having that humility to understand that we are governed by forces bigger than us, that we are part of forces bigger than us. That's what's showing up here. That's the humility. When we can stay humble like that, then the blessings flow, and receiving these blessings is uncomplicated, because we know that they are exactly that. They're the great. It's like by the grace of God we receive these blessings. We know that It is not a given. We are not entitled to it. It's just by the grace of God, right? So I'm not trying to harp on this, and I'm certainly not trying to make you feel guilty. If you check in with yourself and there is something that doesn't sit right with you, and you know something has been bothering you, something has been worrying you or making you angry even, right? If you are upset about the injustice in something, that's your calling, right? That's a message for you. There's something that you have either neglected or overlooked, and it's time to turn your attention towards it. Let's go look at this Two of Wands now, okay? The Two of Wands. When we do this together, when we address the injustice, it's like that's the collective action, right? That's what happens on a collective scale, where the universe then can act through us. Wow. Yeah, there's a message here that we are in this. I just keep hearing it. It's like we're in this together, we're in this together, we're in this together. It just keeps repeating. I keep seeing a beehive. There's something about doing the work, the perfect work. You know, you may be just one little bee, right? But if you can imagine the bigger picture, that's what's so important about this right now. Like the work you do in your own life, you may think it's small, you may think it's meaningless, you may think it's trivial, but it's not, because when you do that work, when you approach it with that balance, and that commitment to truth, commitment to fairness, when you do that with integrity, you are supporting so much more than you know. You're supporting a whole system, a whole structure of goodness, of integrity, of fairness, you know, just by doing your purpose, fulfilling your purpose. And again, this is the when I say purpose, I mean joy. I don't mean the job necessarily that you have. If you feel joy at your job and you love what you do, and you know that what you're doing is, you know, really it's important, and you feel that purpose, then, you know, wonderful. Like that's an amazing blessing, right? But I just want to be clear that when I talk about purpose, it's not about the job. It's not about any one thing necessarily. It's not about a role. It's something that, like, you feel it every day. You seek it every day, because it can slip out of view, right? We can lose sight of these things, especially if we're too comfortable. You know, the Nine of Cups, I keep thinking about the fairy now. The fairy godmother. Remember that in Cinderella there was, oh gosh, how many, the fairy godmother was good, but wasn't there, okay, never mind Cinderella. I'm sorry. The thing is, wish fulfillment has two sides to it, right? When we get what we want, there's a flip side to it, because we can get comfortable, and we can also think that we deserve it, or think that we only got it because we worked. You know what I mean? It's like when we get what we want, when we get a wish fulfilled, we may make the mistake of thinking that, you know, we got this because we did all the right things, and that is not the case. That is not the case. Many people get their wishes fulfilled, and they, you know, treated other people like crap, and they, you know, they did not do all the right things. You know, so it's like this message here is about turning away from these ideas we have about ourselves that might be rooted in complacency or comfort or entitlement, right? It's about examining that, examining if we have entitlement or we have privilege, examine it. And then the answer is not to punish ourselves. The answer is not to feel guilt or shame. The answer is to really think critically about where's the joy here? Where's the heart-centered reality here? What is flowing from my heart? You know, where is the joy flowing from my heart about this? Because if you only have this desire to fulfill yourself, right? To just, let's say, to only have happiness for yourself, it's easy to get tired of that. It gets exhausted. You know what I'm talking about is the hedonic treadmill. There's that concept that when we get what we want, you know, after a while we get tired of it, so we need more. You know, let's say we have the goal, I want to make this salary, and then we make that salary, hit the goal, and we get comfortable with it and we like it, but then it just loses, you know, we don't have that excitement anymore. We don't feel the rush, and we don't feel as excited about what we have, so we want more. You know, that's what I think the message here is that joy and love, like when we live a heart-centered life, when we live from the heart, when we do things from the heart, and we pursue what we want from the heart, when it comes from the heart, that love flows to others. That love flows out to others. It's not just like, you know, in our little bubble of joy. You know, we're not just living in little joy bubbles. We're not living in little joy bubbles. We you know, it's the flow. We naturally want to share that joy. We want others to have joy. We want others to have love. We want others to have passion. Wow. Yeah, so that's the message there. Gosh. It's interesting. I'm getting a strong message, and I just don't feel the need to pull so many cards, because I think, you know, it just needs to come through loud and clear, and there's really nothing more to add here. The Creator. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Because the Creator, and the depiction here is someone holding a paintbrush, okay? So it's talking about the artist. It's talking about creating from joy. I mean, it really is. And look again, the colors of the rainbow. See, it's this, the hand. Oh my gosh, the hand. The hand is a real theme in today's message. So it's, you know, again, it's about our actions, the actions we take, being intentional in that way, right? It's not about control. It's not about controlling everything. It's about letting our actions flow from that inspired, joyful, heartfelt, sincere place, okay? Let's take a look at the guidebook for this, actually. Let's see, what can I share about the Creator Oracle card here? 22, Creator. Huh. The first archetype in the trio of existence. So, you know, I was talking about existentialism. Okay, so the Creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence, is not intimidated by darkness or by lack. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. With meager, minimal, and outlandish materials, the Creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. The creator does this by first being absolutely present to what is, not imagining or wishing things were different. Yeah. Okay, absolutely present to what is. That's the Justice card. And second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul. See, that's, again, this is just one message really coming through, and it's resonating here. Whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity, it remains nameless. It is the creator's lifelong companion. So the advice here is to be curious, playful, open, surprising. Yes. The expression, the reverse expression of this is if you feel like you've lost your spark, if you feel burdened, okay, this is the answer to that. Another piece of advice here, or a reference point, is to read Vincent van Gogh's letters to his brother Theo. Wow. Beautiful. Wow. I mean, I don't even have words. So, yeah, wow. I just love this so much. So if you're drawn to this message, you know, you are somebody that absolutely has a creative gift. You have a creative gift, you have a talent, and you may not even know it yet. You may not even know what that is yet, and that's okay. Your experience of life on earth is about finding that out. And when you do learn it, if you already know it, if you already know what your gift is or what your dharma is, right? If you already know what you love to do, then you're here to do it. You know, it sounds simple, but that can be one of life's greatest challenges, is how to figure out how to do what we love, right? How to figure out how to do more of what we love. But that's the message for you. That's the message for the collective. I'm going to clear the cards now, and then we'll go into the pick a card. Okay, so we have 3 cards selected here already. I'm going to turn these over, and then you can feel free to skip ahead to the timestamp for your reading. For the first card, for the first pile, we have MAKTOUB. MAKTOUB for pile 1. Pile 2, your card is KINTSUGI. KINTSUGI. I know that that's a Japanese word. I believe it refers to, you know what, I won't explain. I'll just leave it at that. If you're drawn to this card, read for the pile 2 reading. And then we have Transcendence. Yes, beautiful. Okay, I'll see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. Wow, beautiful card to get. Very much resonating with the collective message. So if you skipped that, I do encourage you to listen to the collective message. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here, because there are a couple passages that are just so great. Going with the flow, that is the advice here. Going with the flow. But going with the flow does not mean that you just sit back idly, because again, you have the power to be in control of your response to any situation. If stones are thrown at you, don't shirk away or hide in a sense of smallness. Build a castle with those stones instead of a prison. This card is here to remind you that you have the power to chisel and shape your reality. Never forget that you already have all the tools you need to do so. So how will you respond to what life brings your way? What is your decision? What will you build? So I think, pile 1, that you are in a situation right now where you're figuring out yeah, what is it you want to build, right? What is it that you want to contribute, that you want to offer? Two of Swords, schizophrenia. You know, there's MAKTOUB is this concept that it's written in in your destiny, that your destiny is already written, that there's a predetermination here. But the thing is, that can be incredibly powerful to know when we realize that all that it will ever happen has already happened. All that, you know, it's like all that ever was is here. Everything is here now. And so we're not supposed to live that in the future or in the past. We're here to live in the now. Like, we're here for the ride, you know what I mean? Two of Swords with schizophrenia, you know, I'm seeing here a real struggle to reconcile two conflicting points of view. So you might have a conflict of choice. You might have an ambivalence about what to choose. You might be feeling a lot of pressure between two choices. The message here is that the choice has been made. See, that's the thing. It's not there. It's like, if you can do the gut check, if you can go within and you follow the pull, what is your intuition pulling you towards? What is your inner knowing pulling you towards? That's what I'm saying when the choice has been made. Like, go with the flow. Go with what is calling you, or what is the magnetic pull. Because it's a situation, whatever you're dealing with, if this is you, this dilemma, it's a situation where there's no wrong choice, because no matter what you choose, you're going to end up in the same place. Like, your life is going in this direction. You have this destiny, and you're going to end up there. It's just a matter of how you end up there. You might have a lot of twists and turns. You might have, like, you know, it's all a matter of what the ride is like. Is it going to be very bumpy? Is it going to be, you know, very, is going to be a lot of fun? You know, it's going to... that's all this is. This is just a ride. It's like, we really choose, how do we experience the ride? Are we going to experience the ride, you know, holding on for dear life and trying to control everything about it? Or are we going to experience this ride, you know, with a little bit of exhilaration and joy, you know, enjoying that risk, enjoying the fact that we are here vulnerable, that there's a bit of danger in everything, right? There's always a bit of danger in everything. There's a bit of risk in everything. You can't live a life that's risk-free, period. Okay, wow. We have the Creator, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Two of Pentacles. Look at this. This is exactly what I am talking about. The Two of Pentacles is showing somebody who is, you know, stepping forward. See the stepping stones. They're moving forward. They're just going step by step, you know, kind of leaping from one stone to the next, right? And there's a lot of trust in this. You see how they're not looking down? They're not looking down at where they're stepping. They're looking forward. And there's a sense of balance here too. They're keeping their balance and they're looking forward, because they know that the equilibrium, that balance comes from within. It's not coming from a message from outside, or a signal, or it's not coming from the outside. It's not coming from signs from the outside. It's coming from within. It's coming from how you feel within. Do you feel balanced? Do you feel centered? And again, we see it here, right? The Creator being the King of Wands, this is someone with their solar plexus very bright. Vitality, okay? The life force is strong here. Let your joy, let your vitality, let your joy, let your pure bliss. Follow your bliss. Let that guide you. That will illuminate the way. That will light the way for you. Here's another way to look at it. You know how there's like a black light? How in the dark, like a black light will reveal certain colors. You know, this is what that makes me think of, because it's like when we live without joy, when we live without passion, when we don't allow ourselves, when we don't give ourselves permission to feel the joy, to seek our joy, to seek our bliss, when we don't do that, we're not illuminating the world around us. So we're not actually illuminating the answers that are around us. It's like the light, our inner light, isn't able to reveal the guidance and the signs and the answers. I mean, you know, I know that sounds vague, but when we live from that joyful place, when we experience joy and bliss, it's almost like you see the world around you respond to you. It's like the world around you lights up for you, and the possibilities start to open up for you. We can't recognize those possibilities when we have dimmed our light. And the difference is like a black light. You know, when I talk about the black light, it's like, it's the difference between being in the dark and being able to see like special things in the dark, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Or like infrared vision, I don't know, night vision, like here's another metaphor, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. It's, you can't figure these things out until you have prioritized joy, until you've decided, you've chosen, until you've decided, I will be happy. You know, I choose to be happy. I choose to be who I am. I choose to be myself, right? I'm not going to dim this light anymore. I'm not going to dim it so others can shine. I'm going to shine. It's my right to shine. It's my right to be here. I'm not talking about vanity. I'm not talking about pride. I'm just talking about existence. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about consciousness. You have a right to be here. You have a right to be alive. You know? You have a right to be alive. Yeah, that's what it is. So you're already here. You might as well do what you can to enjoy it. And that's the difference between the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. You know, the Two of Swords, schizophrenia. The Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Rainbows, moment to moment, okay? It's the difference of trying to make sense of everything and trying to solve a problem that isn't even meant to be solved. See, the conflict isn't even really there. These things, you know, maybe you might be making a choice and you're thinking, I have to have one or the other, but it may not be mutually exclusive, right? When you choose to be who you are, when you choose to live authentically and to follow your bliss and to assert yourself like that, to assert, I deserve to be happy. When you really believe that, you will find newer possibilities that didn't exist before, is what I'm trying to say. You'll find doors opening. And so what was previously, you know, a difficult choice, now it's no longer a decision, because you can get the best of both, right? That's what I mean. It's like the universe, the world shifts around you. It lights up differently. You see it differently. You see the possibilities. But yeah, that's your message, pile one. Very beautiful, very powerful message, and good luck with everything, okay? I really think that you can change your life in such a big way just from this powerful choice to be who you are, you know, to accept who you are. Radical acceptance, okay? That's for you, pile 1. Thanks for being here. Take care. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You selected the card Kintsugi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a Japanese word. Kintsugi. Kintsugi. Kintsugi is a Japanese art form and philosophical outlook in which what is quote-unquote broken is repaired with precious metals such as gold, platinum, and silver. As a living philosophy, breakage and subsequent repair are viewed as beautiful, even in their brokenness. An object's history is its own poetry, in static motion, and perceived flaws only add to the unique preciousness of the vessel, which has undergone change through time and direct experience. I won't read the rest of the guidebook, but you know, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck because it's talking about character. It's talking about, you know, how we are perfectly flawed, right? We are humans. Our humanity, we are on planet Earth to learn to make mistakes and to have experiences that may leave us scarred. It doesn't mean that we're supposed to seek out painful experience. It just means that we don't need to be ashamed or hide what these painful experiences did to us. We don't need to be ashamed that we have flaws, that we have, you know, scars and scar tissue and trauma and quirks or idiosyncrasies, you know, as a result. So I love this card because it's actually talking about flaunting that. It's talking about bringing attention to your flaws, you know, to be proud of what you've survived and what you've experienced. And again, that goes back to character, right? It's about character. Character is what makes us unique. If we just remained innocent, if we just remained unflawed, untouched, unblemished, would we even be recognizable? Would we even be unique, right? Would we be an individual, or would we just blend into a faceless crowd, right? Would we just be bland and, you know, unmemorable? So this is a message for you, pile 2. You have a special, unique gift. I would say it's a gift. I would say it's also a persona, an aura. You have an aura about you, and you may not realize this. And so this is a message to know that, and to know that you're special, and to know that people see that about you, that, you know, you have a magnetic appeal and an aura, and people are drawn to that. And don't shy away from that. Don't be ashamed of that. You don't need to shy away from it. You don't need to hide it. You know, this is just who you are. And if you can embrace it, you may find an inner peace that you have yet to experience. We have the 4 of Wands here. I love that for you. We have the 3 of Cups. Wow, we have party time. We have celebrations. You're being celebrated, pile 2. This is a very clear prediction. You're being celebrated. Are you going to do something major? Are you graduating? Are you getting married? There might be a big celebration coming up that you're already aware of. But I really feel like this is very general. Like, you're being celebrated. You're being appreciated. If you don't feel that way, I really think it's going to come your way very soon. And we have the Sun. Oh my goodness, wow. We have the Sun. And you know, I love the Sun card in this because it shows 2 suns. It shows relationship. It shows kinship or camaraderie, right? It shows unity, okay? It shows friendship, solidarity. The Sun in your life it's the fact that your beauty and you're going to be appreciated. It's going to be reflected back to you. The people in your life are going to uplift you. I think it's people. I think it's multiple people. I think it's a community or a family. But it could just be one person. You know, it could just be one person in your life that you're very blessed to have in your life because they really uplift you and they want to lift up your spirits. They want you to know how special you are to them. Yeah, let me pull from this deck for you. Pile 2, what is the other message for you here? There is something that wants to come out here for you. Better than you can imagine. Whoa. There's a dragonfly here, and there is a baby. There's a baby in the womb. You might be married and planning to start a family. You might be in a serious relationship and planning to get married or planning to start a family. This is confirmation that everything's going to be okay, and you need not to worry. You're going to be just fine. In fact, you might be somebody who's worried that maybe you have a medical history that, you know, is making you concerned about becoming pregnant. I am absolutely not giving health advice. I'm just going to tell you that the cards seem to indicate a positive outcome, and don't worry about it. Of course, please consult your doctor, your medical professionals, definitely consult a medical professional if you have that concern. I'm just telling you what's in the cards. It looks pretty positive. All right, what else do we have for you, pile 2? Overwhelmingly positive message here. Small steps, big accomplishments, okay? And I love that we see the turtle, but we also see this little turtle, like, looking up. Again, I'm seeing the parent-child relationship. Your inner child is probably coming forward now. Maybe you feel like you have a chance to let your inner child out more, to be a little bit more playful, to be more, more like a goofball, not to take everything so seriously. Maybe you're feeling a bit more lighthearted these days. That's great. I would love that for you, pile 2. You really deserve that. I think you have not had a chance to really appreciate some of the finer things in life, and I think you'll be able to now. The Emperor. Yeah, I was just thinking that. So, with small steps, big accomplishments, you might have gotten a promotion at work. You might be making more money than you ever have before. There's something here about definitely feeling like you leveled up in some way. The Emperor just showed up. This is the Emperor card, and so there is a message here, either in work or in personal life, work, family, or work and love life. In some aspect of your life, there is stability, and there's empowerment. There's authority. There's a sense of, really being in charge of your domain. So maybe at work you are being promoted, or your boss is really being doing what they're supposed to do. Like you feel supported by your boss. You feel supported by your employer or your management. They're paying you enough money, or they're giving you the benefits that you need, or they're giving you the flexibility that you need to start a family. It could be that. It could also be that, you're getting married, or you're married and now you're doing the next step of having a child together. Maybe you're buying a house. Like, there's some kind of next level in the relationship, in the committed relationship, and you're feeling very supported by your partner. Maybe your partner is able to contribute a lot financially so that you can focus more on, raising kids, or keeping the home. You know, there's just a lot of positivity here. What I just said, those examples might be a little too specific. So in general, you know, if those examples didn't resonate with you, what I am seeing here in general is that you're coming into a really lovely time in your life where you no longer feel like you have to prove yourself, and you no longer feel like you're inferior. You are coming into a phase in life where you feel really proud of who you are and what you accomplished, and you feel accepted or loved and appreciated. Maybe not by everyone, maybe not by the world, but there's someone in your life, there's at least one person in your life who is making you feel appreciated and loved and adored and respected. I mean, cherished, just cherished. So if that's not happening for you now, I do think it is going to happen for you soon. Really beautiful things here showing up for you, Pile 2. That's your message. Thank you so much for being here. Take care and good luck with everything. Thank you, Pile 2. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You selected the card Transcendence. Beautiful card. Beautiful illustration. We definitely see here for you, Pile 3, there's like wow, I'm feeling a big shift in your perspective. I'm feeling like you just learned something. It's like you widened your perspective, and maybe you learned very powerful information, or someone like really inspired you. Like you learned something, or you shifted your perspective on something, and it's just making you like feel really optimistic and confident, and it's like it's just great. It's a great feeling because it's putting things in perspective, and it's making you realize like there are things you worried about, there are things that you were like really anxious about or really concerned about, sad about. Even there were things that were really making you sad and down in the dumps, but this perspective is actually putting everything in such an amazing light. Like it's incredibly validating for you. There's a bottle of lotion in this room, and the words on it say essentially enriched. And I just noticed it just now. Like, this is the first time sitting in this position that I've noticed this bottle said those words. Essentially enriched. That's what's going on with you, Pile 2. You're being essentially enriched. It's like you're wow, yeah, it's a spiritual thing. You're unlocking powerful insights into the nature of consciousness, into the nature of the universe. Yeah, you're being spiritually enriched at a very deep level. It's essential, right? It's internal. It's internalized. It's being woven into the fabric of your being. Wow, Pile 3. I want to know what's going on now. So we have the Emperor, which showed up in Pile 2. If you were drawn to Pile 2, you might want to watch that one. We have the Emperor here. We have the Three of Pentacles. Oh, we have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Two of Cups. Okay, yeah, I see a relationship here. I do think Pile 3. I think that you have an opportunity here It might be work related, might not be. It could be volunteer related. It's just something coming into your life based on something you do very well. Okay, it's not necessarily what you do for paid work, but you have like some kind of skill or craft or specialized, you know, service. You do something well and you're getting an opportunity in relation to it, and it has made you a bit confounded, because I think you have a relationship in mind and you just don't want the opportunity to get in the way of that. I think you're kind of getting a bit confused about what to do, because you want to grow and you want to be challenged, but you also don't want to lose a relationship. I mean, that's what I'm getting here. Like, this is just what I'm seeing in the cards. So if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay, and that's it's not your message. But I think someone is watching this, and I think transcendence here is advice for you, right? It's saying, like, take the higher perspective, and whatever is worrying you, it's good when you put it into that longer term perspective, that higher perspective, it's not going to worry you anymore. So here's an example of that. Let's say you get an opportunity to take on a client that's amazing. They're going to pay you so much money, and you've been wanting to get their business for years now, and you finally got the dream client. Let's say that opportunity has fallen into your lap. You know it's going to take a lot of your time. You know that it's going to mean working longer hours, and you know you're dating someone, or you're seeing someone, and you're just beginning to get to know them, and you're not really sure if they'll want to stick around if you're busy with work, right? You know, you really like them and they seem to like you, but you feel like you have to match them at their like, you feel like if they're free every weekend, you're supposed to be free every weekend. It's like you don't want to waste any moment. You want to be with them whenever you possibly can. And that's great. That means, you know, you really like them, and there's real genuine feelings there. If that's the case, the higher perspective is saying, if this is the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life, you have your whole life to be with them. You know what I mean? Like, just enjoy this journey. Like, if this is something if this thing in your work lights you up, if it's your passion, then a potential partner, a potential life partner, they're going to be supportive of that. They're not going to make you choose between that or them. No, of course not. They would want what's best for you. So it's that case of, you know, if you love someone, let them go. If they return, it was meant to be. If they don't return, it wasn't. You know, I forget what the exact saying is, but that's what's showing up here, is like, don't overthink this. Don't overanalyze this. Just do what you know, are called to do. Do what you feel is right for you, and trust that any partner or any relationship that is supposed to be in your life, it's going to follow your lead. It's you know, no one's going to give up on you that quickly just because you got this opportunity. I mean, who would do that, right? If they really like you, then they will wait for you. Then they will be there for you. Yeah, that's a very specific message, but that's something coming through loud and clear. Let's pull a couple more cards. I want to pull this deck, and let's just see, what are the messages that are coming through for pile 3? Is there another message here for them? Pile 3, the collective that has chosen pile 3. What is advice for them at this time? Advice. Yeah, I really feel like whoever's watching this, I feel like you do want advice on something. Like, you are trying to kind of you know, you're really working out something here. You're trying to get to that higher perspective, but it just may not be as easy for you at this moment. We've got the Ten of Pentacles and we have the Page of Pentacles. Wow. So yeah, I am getting something here about work, or business, or a long-term goal. You know, it could be like saving up for a house. You know, it could be something like that. But this message is about you taking on a wider perspective, because you might run the risk of not seeing the forest for the trees. You might be paying attention to something that's actually a minor detail and not as important as you think it is, or it won't be as important as you think it is in the long run. So yeah, there is a message here for you, pile 3. Take that step back. Take a step back and really try to look at things from like an eagle eye view, you know, a bird's eye view. Try to look at the bigger picture of what's going on in your life, and try not to focus or hyper focus or nitpick something that is bothering you, because the overall picture looks very different from the detailed picture, the close-up. Okay, the wide view looks different from the close-up, and the wide view is what you need right now. You need that higher perspective to really identify like what's the right path forward for you, and what's the right path for your long-term success. Yeah, there is a big, you know, there's something you're working towards, and you're going to succeed at it, but it's all about tactics, right? It's like when you need to do certain things, you use special tools. And for you, it's all about figuring out what those are. So tactics, strategy. These are the words coming through. This is what's important right now. Why is this Page of Pentacles really calling? This Page of Pentacles is telling me that there are certain things that you really have to just be patient with and take it slow and do it little by little. And like you can't help that. Like you just can't rush this process. There are certain things you just can't rush. And accept that. If you can accept that, you'll do perfectly fine. The other message of this Page of Pentacles is talking about how when you can just do these small steps, you start to gain the experience, and you start to gain the wisdom and the knowledge and the know-how. You start to get more expert at it. And then when you get more expert at it, your capacity and your success rate is higher. So there is definitely this encouragement to keep going and keep challenging yourself, because the result of that is going to be absolutely amazing. And again, if there's a relationship that you might feel is kind of distracting you, or it's making you feel a bit confused or ambivalent about your goal here, then just take that higher perspective. What is it you really want in a relationship? Because if what you want in a relationship is someone who thinks you need to prioritize their needs over yours, then that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? But if you really want a relationship that has two people who treat each other as partners, two people who respect each other and support each other, right? What does that look like in real life? What does it look like in their actions? So this is also a message of, judge a person by their actions, not necessarily by what they say. What are they doing? Are they supporting you? Are they helpful to you? Are they understanding with you? Are they patient? Are they learning? Are they learning more about what you need, what your needs are? Are they adapting? That's a big one. are they adapting? Okay, wow, a lot going on here, pile 3. I'm not doing a very long message in this video, so you know, I hope this is helpful, and if you want to know more, you can book me for a private reading. My information is in the description box. So pile 3, thank you so much for being here. I really wish you the best in what's going on here. Whatever's going on in your life, I wish you the best, and yeah, take care, pile 3. Take care.